So I read Encyclopaedia Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This book series has been sitting on my shelf since 2023 and I've been hearing amazing things, and it's cozy fantasy. I'm not typically a cozy fantasy girl. I love a lot more higher stakes in my fantasies. I was like going through a slump, so I decided that maybe picking this up would be a good idea. We follow a character named Emily Wilde, and she goes off into the Netherlands, into Norway, to do like some sort of like research and observations on fairies. In this world, fairies are very prominent, so it's written through her journals. When she arrives, she kind of like doesn't really have the warmest of welcomes from the village folk, because she's not really a sociable person. She just wants to be left alone. She just wants to be here to do her research. And then one day, her work rival named Wendell Bamblebee comes to stay at her cabin and help her research, and he brings along these like two other assistants who basically like do all the work for him while he doesn't do anything. So she doesn't really have the highest opinion of him. There's also this sort of like conflict that's going on in the town that she gets roped into doing it since she knows a lot about fairies. Unfortunately, a lot of the people start disappearing, especially like the kids, and also there's sort of like a little love story she has with Wendell also. I didn't really enjoy my time with this. I was kind of bored majority of the time. Like, it was very told from an analytical perspective. I thought the love story just came out of nowhere. I felt zero chemistry for them, and I honestly think Emily can do so much better. Wendell is such a spoiled little privileged brat. The reason why I say that it just felt like it just came out of nowhere was the fact that he was all over these other girls at the cabin, and also Emily kind of didn't really care for him at all. There was not even like a hint of anything. She kind of like gives me like neurodivergent vibes, which I felt like was a really good representation. I'm so happy there was a representation about neurodivergent people, but from a reader's perspective, that's really hard to read about, especially if a lot of these characters are very kind of disconnected from the situations they are in. I think cozy fantasies do really well in the found family department, and I kind of really wish there was a found family aspect to this. But Emily, that's all she wanted to do. She only wanted to research, learn about her fairies, and then go home and go back to her university. And I understand that that was the whole entire point. It's what her character is, and also the fact that I was bored majority of the time because, like I said, she writes journal entries that are very like textbook. There's footnotes in here. And I don't want to continue the series if it doesn't give me more than that. But I just didn't connect to it. I didn't like Wendell as a love interest. I barely connected to Emily. I really did like how the fairies were portrayed in this. I like how we ventured a little bit into the fairy world and like the interactions we had with these fairies and the different kinds we ran into. I really loved it. That's how I felt about the first Emily Wilde book. I doubt I'm going to continue this series. So unfortunately, this was such a miss.